Hello, my darlings. Do you struggle with money? I am about to share a very personal story, and it has to do with my relationship with money. And I think it could be of use to a lot of you, maybe. So, when I lived in Paris, I went through some difficulties with money that caused me to evaluate my relationship with money. Due to a particular circumstance, I realized that I was denying myself a higher quality of life because of some very deep and conscious limiting beliefs around money. So I went through some situations after making a few decisions that were very spiritual, in the sense that it was like something was trying to point me to this issue that I had around money. So this is during one of the darkest, actually the darkest times of my life. Without going through too much detail, I finally decided to face what was going on. And after reading the book, I think it's called You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, it helped me to realize that I needed to put down all of my issues that I had around money on paper. And that's exactly what I did. And I literally spent days just writing, like entire days writing. And I think probably weeks. And I kid you not when I tell you that I poured my heart onto these pages, with tears running down my face onto the paper. So I'm really glad that I took the time, the effort, and the energy to do this, because after I put all those beliefs and the roots of those beliefs on paper, it's like the power of these concepts, the power of these beliefs weakened, and the grasp that these limiting beliefs had on me loosened. And I realized that my limiting beliefs around money came from my parents. I recalled these memories that I had in my head, subconscious, that I hadn't ever thought about until I started to write it down and to think about it. I recalled these very vivid scenarios of my parents fighting over money. So for instance, I remember my mom bought a really beautiful two-piece green dress, and she was trying to hide it from my dad. And I think it was for a wedding. And he found out, and he saw the price, and they started to fight over that. I just remember my mom always having to on like eggshells, or on her tippy toes to spend money. And it's like she hated to ask my dad for money. My dad controlled the money, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and my dad had businesses. Well, he had one business at a time. Didn't grow up poor at all. I grew up quite privileged. Like my early childhood, a lot of it was spent in Central and South America. Like my dad had money. He just didn't like it that my mom spent it, even if it was on something that would make her look beautiful. So can you imagine what kind of effect that had on me? So I witnessed my mom kind of having fear around money and around spending money. And that's exactly what happened to me. I think it was also connected to my low self-belief. After I put all of these negative thoughts about money, and I recognized and I noted down all of the negative habits that I had around money and the emotions that I had around money when I was spending it or when I would think about it, etc. I realized that there was a lot of fear around. I realized that I was basically afraid of money, and I was afraid of losing money, and I was living a lower quality of life at the expense of having money, because I was also kind of looking at it like, oh, what if something bad happens in the future? And guess what? That's exactly what happened. So that should really prove to you that whatever you believe will come true, even if it's negative. And so we have to be really careful about the beliefs that we carry about things, situations, and the future. So writing all that stuff also made me realize that I had a low self-worth. And that's something that I'm still working on along with my money issues. But at least now I don't have those limiting beliefs around money. My mind is now more open to receiving, and just my awareness about my thoughts and habits about money is... So I created a digital money journal with money shadow questions. So a lot of these questions were questions that I answered through my situation, hard times. And at the same time that I was writing all this stuff about money, I was learning about the energy of money. So a lot of the questions on this digital journal are also based on the knowledge and the learnings that I received. And this digital journal is available for you to buy. I will not be giving it out for free because I want you to realize the value of it when you are sitting down and answering the questions. So I am shamelessly plugging my Money Shadow digital journal. And this is what it looks like. This is a quote from, for example, this one's from Oprah Winfrey, but I have quotes from all over the place. So check that out in my link in my Instagram. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.